There's one last thing or one last issue that I see with this update that I feel like nobody is actually talking about, and that is, yo, what up my people? All right, so since the PlayStation Portal here has come out, man, there has been some newly added features from this recent update that just came out yesterday. And now this is something here, man, that we've been asking for, we've been wanting to get all of this with this update, because y'all, this is the update of all updates, man. And I mean finally being able to take the PlayStation Portal here out on the go and just be able to connect it to any public Wi-Fi, even though it doesn't have a built-in browser. Now I know you guys are sitting there, you're like, C-Kid, what the hell, bro? Like, how are they doing that? Listen, keep watching, because I'm gonna tell you guys everything you need to know, because they've come up with somewhat of like an interesting solution that addresses that I want to actually show you guys in today's video, and how you guys actually gonna do it. Now they also updated the touchpad here on the PlayStation Portal, as well as the battery percentage and a whole lot more. So let's go ahead and jump right into it. All right, so the first thing first that I want to show you guys how to do is, how do you update your PlayStation Portal if you guys are new to having this handheld device? So all you guys want to do is swipe over from your right hand side. You want to go ahead and go to settings. You want to go to system, and then you're going to see here update system software. You're just going to tap on that. Now here you get two different options. You have the option to view details, and then you also have the option to view your download. Now for me, I always kind of select to view details before I actually go into actually downloading, just because I'm just that nerd that want to see all of the things that's actually coming to it in this version 3.0.0. Now I think you guys are coming from 2.0.3 possibly, but just know if you want the newer version, it's going to be version 3.0.0. And then from here, man, you can go in here and you can read all of the stuff that's actually going to be coming, but you're not going to need that because you got me. So let's just go ahead and go back, and then we're just going to tap on download, and then we're just going to go ahead and let it do its thing. And then just like that, we got the latest update on this bad boy right here. Now, while this is actually doing this install here, I just want to let you guys know, if you guys are interested in getting either this cover that I have on here to get this all like kind of black and white theme look, or if you guys are interested in this case right here, I have links to both of these down in the description section below, as well as a screen protector on here, because again, I highly recommend you guys get these accessories right here, man, because this is going to protect your PlayStation Portal for a long period of time. Because I'm telling you, you ain't trying to be that one walking around the block with your, with your cracked screen. It's just, it ain't the way. Now, one of the other things that I see here is that there looks to be a PlayStation Link device software update. Now, I'm not sure on exactly what the notes are for this, because I didn't even know this was actually going to be a thing on here, but I really think this has something to do with the updates that we saw with the PlayStation in itself recently, because they did make some changes and fixes to solve some of the connection issues that was happening with the PlayStation Link, because I've shown and shared with you guys some of my shortcomings when it came to the PlayStation Link software, because I'm just to be real with you and be honest with y'all, I'm just not a huge fan of this whole PlayStation Link technology, because sometimes it works and then sometimes it don't. So hopefully this update here will fix a lot of that, but we're gonna test that out in a future video. All right, so let's go ahead and just do a quick check here just to see if we got everything updated. Now, that's one thing that I've noticed just right out of the gate here. It looks like the settings menu has actually changed. So before we would have kind of like this quad box, whereas now we only see okay, well now we're getting the 4 box. For some reason, it only showed the 2. Y'all saw it. Y'all know I ain't capping. But so let's just go ahead and check. We're going to go to system here, and then we're going to go to update software, just to make sure we don't have anything else. And it looks like we are up to date. Device information, you can see our software system is version 3.0.0, and we can just see it right there. And yeah, so we pretty much got everything updated. Our PlayStation Link software is on 1.37, and then our controller device software is on 1.53. And yeah, that's pretty much everything that we got right there, man. Let's just go ahead and go back out into everything here, and let's just go ahead and boot it up so I can show you guys some of these new features. Okay, so it looks like it booted me completely out of the system. So let me go ahead and open my PlayStation app. And then again, y'all, it's super simple to be able to connect back up. All you guys got to do is go into your settings within the PlayStation app. You're going to scroll down to where it says scan QR code, and then we're just going to put it up like that, hit approve, and then just like that, we all in and we good to go. All right, so now we all updated. We inside of our PlayStation here. Now, the first thing I actually want to show you guys is that Sony PlayStation has finally, and I mean finally, given us a solution, man, to be able to connect to public Wi-Fi that requires authentication. All right, so before I actually show you guys a solution, right? I want to kind of talk about what it used to do and what it didn't allow, so that way you guys can actually appreciate the new update and just kind of see the difference between the two, and personally why I'm hyped for it. So have you guys ever been to like a hotel, a cafe shop, or a coffee shop, a Starbucks, an airport, anywhere that pretty much you have public Wi-Fi set up? When you try to connect to it, it's going to actually require you to have like a room number or your last name or your ID or whatever it needs to be able to authenticate you, for you guys to be able to get into it and accept the terms and agreement before it actually allows you guys to connect your phone or your laptop to that public Wi-Fi. Well, the issue with the PlayStation Portal here before this update is that Sony didn't give us a browser on this thing right here. That means that there's no easy way of connecting this PlayStation Portal without having something like a travel router to be able to kind of route that hotel or the airport's Wi-Fi through in order for you guys to be able to connect your PlayStation Portal through. But that was a kind of a whole like extra setup. So instead of Sony leaving us high and dry, they came up with I think it's kind of a pretty dope solution that requires your smartphone. So how this actually works is if you guys tap on the public network that you guys want to attach to, then on the PlayStation Portal, now you're going to get a page that looks like this with a QR code that's on it. Now all you guys have to do is open up your phone app and then scan the QR code, and it's going to direct you to where you can authenticate through the phone and then allow your PlayStation Portal to now be on that public network, all without the PlayStation Portal ever needing a web browser. Now, some people out there, I'm gonna be honest with y'all may feel like this is a lot to have to go through in order to just connect to a public Wi-Fi, or you're probably sitting there, you're like, well, why couldn't they just give us a web browser finally on the PlayStation Portal, which would have solved this problem a whole lot easier? And if I'm being 100% real with you guys, honestly, I would agree with you on that. Now, don't get me wrong, I still think that this is at least a solution that I could personally live with, but there's one problem with this solution, right? Well, what if I'm a kid out there, and based on the comments that I've been seeing in a lot of my videos, either you bought this for yourself or you bought this for your child. Well, if I'm a kid, 9 times out of 10, I may or may not have a smartphone or a tablet to be able to scan this QR code that pops up here on the PlayStation Portal. And if that's the case, then you're pretty much shit out of luck when it comes to trying to connect to public Wi-Fi, and you're pretty much back to the same predicament that we was in before this update. Now, although I'm personally cool with this change as a band-aid fix, it still would have been nicer and easier if they would have given us a web browser on the PlayStation Portal, so that way you don't need to have like a separate device to be able to connect to the public Wi-Fi connection. But y'all let me know down below how you guys are feeling about this, or if I'm just overreacting and I'm tripping. All right, now the next thing I want to show you guys is with this new update is a new visual feedback feature when it comes to the touchpad area. Now, to me, this is a pretty dope feature that I like. So the changes are now, if you guys are swiping your finger within either side of the screen, you're now going to be able to see kind of this animated trail of where your finger is actually going on the screen, which I personally think is dope. Now, is this a huge update feature for the PlayStation Portal? No, I don't think it's that huge of a feature, but I do think it's kind of cool to be able to see the pattern of your finger on the actual screen and just watch it kind of trail around. Now, again, this is not a huge feature, but it's definitely something that I personally appreciate, and I feel that is worth showing you guys. Now, the other thing here that I kind of want to touch on when it comes to these touchpads that I wish they would add, if Sony, PlayStation, if you guys are listening, it would have been nice if we would have got some type of feedback when it comes to the touchpad on the screen, so that way you can kind of feel it as you guys are kind of moving around on the screen. Again, not that big of a deal, but I personally feel like it would have been a nice touch. Now, the next feature is being able to finally, and I mean finally, display a battery percentage level on our screen. Now, this is something that I feel like should have always been available on the PlayStation Portal since day one, because even though, don't get me wrong, the battery life on the PlayStation Portal is pretty solid and pretty decent for the most part, but in the same sense, it's always good to know before your game just dies on you where you stand when it comes to battery percentage. Well, now on the PlayStation Portal, if you guys go into your system, you're going to go into settings, you're going to go to systems here, and then we're going to go down to where it says battery, and now you're going to see a new option here that says show battery percentage. We're just going to turn that on, and then if we go all the way back out, now we're going to be able to see the battery percentage actually shown on our screen in the top right corner, as you guys can see here when you guys are tapping. So if we go into here, we can see the battery percentage right there on our screen. Oh, if I go back to it, we can see the battery percentage right there on our screen to be able to know exactly how much juice we got left on our PlayStation Portal. Now, with all of that being said, there's one last thing or one last issue that I see with this update that I feel like nobody is actually talking about, and that is right here in this release notes. That is, PlayStation says to comply with regulations for various countries and regions, PlayStation Portal might not actually support connections to certain public networks such as 5 gigahertz networks. Now, to me, I personally see this as a problem because you guys know your 5 gigahertz Wi-Fi bands are always going to be your faster Wi-Fi band in terms of speeds as well as performance, meaning that you're pretty much left with the PlayStation Portal with the 2.4 gigahertz, which yes, means, you know, it's going to be best for range, but generally that Wi-Fi band is not built on speed, but yet built on performance and distance, meaning you're still going to be able to stay connected based on how further you guys are away from your router. So I guess it's safe to say that PlayStation put connectivity over faster speeds, which kind of poses, I guess, a risk or a question, because as you guys know, in order for the PlayStation Portal to run well, you have to have this thing on really, and I mean really good internet speeds. And this is where I see a potential issue, because most 2.4 gigahertz Wi-Fi bands are just not fast enough as the 5 gigahertz Wi-Fi bands. But y'all let me know down in the comment section below what you guys think about that. Did PlayStation drop the ball by not allowing this or having issues with the PlayStation Portal connecting to a Wi-Fi gigahertz band? Y'all let me know what y'all think down below. But overall, man, I still can't front y'all. I feel like these are definitely some of the doper features and necessary upgrades that we needed when it came to the PlayStation Portal. And the fact that we now get it, I'm all for it. Now, should the public Wi-Fi feature been on here a long time ago, like when it first launched back in November? Absolutely, man. There's literally no excuse for that, because I'll be honest with y'all, man, it's been a pain trying to play this handheld outside of my home network. And even PlayStation themselves said it within their own blog article. It says, while we actually recommend PlayStation Portal to be used in your home as you have control over the quality of your Wi-Fi. It almost lets me know that they really didn't intend for us to be able to really use this handheld outside of our homes. But thanks to PlayStation Portal, man, and our community here, we all spoke up, man, and we wanted ways of easily being able to play our PlayStation Portal here outside of our home. And I'm just glad that finally PlayStation listened to us, man, and they fixed one of the issues that we've been begging for. So shout out to them, man, for addressing this issue. Now, if you guys want to stay up to date on all of the PlayStation news as well as the Portal news here, then go ahead and hit that like button down below. And if you guys are new here, don't forget to subscribe to the channel, because we're still climbing, still on our way to that 200,000 subscriber mark, man. I'll see y'all in the next one. Squad, we out.